where they will be spending crores of taxpayers' money. Unfortunately, the Purple Fest over the last 2 years has not been able to benefit persons with disability at the ground level. It has only been an entertainment of 3 or 4 days for persons with disability in Goa as well as all over the world. So this year we are putting forth a 7-point demand before the government to resolve our long pending disability issues before the Purple Fest. We are giving them 3 months to resolve the Purple Fest, failing which we will be forced to have protests during the Purple Fest, because there is no point in spending taxpayers' money. There is no point in spending taxpayers' money if the persons with disability are not going to benefit at the ground level. So the first thing that we want is an increase in the DSS. As you know, last year the State Disability Commissioner has told to increase the Diamond Social Security benefit from 2,000 a month to 6,000 a month. But unfortunately, till today, the government has not increased the Diamond Social Security benefit. Around 12,000 persons with disability in Goa are getting benefit of this Diamond Social Security scheme. And you know, as per the cost of living in Goa, it is not possible to survive on 2,000 rupees a month, leave alone support our entire family on 2,000 rupees a month. So our first demand is you increase the Diamond Social Security benefit for persons with disability from 2,000 a month to 6,000 a month as per the order of the State Disability Commissioner. Our second demand is the jobs for persons with intellectual disability. We welcome the decision of the state government to issue 10th and 12th standard level certificates to persons with disability who have done vocational training. Unfortunately, just giving certificates is not sufficient. We need jobs for persons with disability, and the government has not been able to provide jobs for persons with disability even in the government sector, even though there is a 4% reservation and a specific 1% reservation for persons with intellectual disability. Last year, the Goa Human Resource Development came out with around 700 posts for various categories other than persons with disabilities. They did not follow the reservation policy, and we filed a complaint with the State Disability Commissioner in August last year. Unfortunately, till today, the State Disability Commissioner has not taken any action. No order has been passed, nor any action has been taken by the State Disability Commissioner in the matter. The Goa Human Resources Development Corporation is blatantly flouting labor laws by not following the reservation policies, by taking people on contract basis and empanelment basis. And unfortunately, the State Disability Commissioner and the Labour Department is not doing anything on the matter. The third demand that we want is to restart the Sunday School Vocational Center. As you know, 2 years back, the Sunday School Vocational Center was closed down because the building was declared unsafe for the students. But even after 2 years, the vocational center has not been restarted, and around 100 students are just sitting at home because they have no vocational center to go to. And the parents also are facing inconvenience, because many of the parents are even forced to leave their jobs to stay with to look after the children at home. And unfortunately, the State Disability Commissioner as well as the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability is not putting sufficient pressure on the Sunday Center to restart the vocational center. Besides starting the vocational center, we also want the government to start respite care centers. In Goa State, we do not have a single respite center or daycare center for persons with for persons with intellectual disability and autism. Neither do we have a skill development center. Last year, or 3 to 4 years back, the state government had announced that they will start a skill development center for persons with disability. Last year or year before last, they started a livelihood center. But today, if you see, there is no livelihood center, neither is a skill development center for persons with disability in Goa. So we want, besides starting the vocational center, Sunday school vocational center, we want the government to start respite care centers, and we want the government to start skill development centers for persons with disability. Our fourth demand is to formulate a state policy for persons with disabilities. This is the third year now that the Purple Fest will be happening, and 2016 the Rights of Persons with Disability Act came into force, and 2025 is almost 9 years now. We do not have a state policy for the empowerment of persons with disabilities. So this shows that the government is not serious about the empowerment of persons with disabilities. The departments do not know what do they have to do, because there is no direction from the state government. There is no state policy, there is no direction from the state government to the departments as to what they have to do for the welfare of persons with disability. So we want a state policy for empowerment of persons with disability. Another demand of ours is representation for persons with disability at the panchayats and municipality level. Last year we had made a representation to the state government to give a representation to persons with disabilities to nominate persons with disabilities in the panchayats and the municipalities, just like SC and OBC nominations, reservations are there, nominations are there. You give nominations to persons with disabilities so that persons with disabilities will have a voice at the grassroots level. Today there are lots of panchayats which are not accessible for persons with disabilities. Lots of persons with disabilities in the panchayats who are having problems, who do not know where to go, who are starving because the Diamond Social Security scheme is not sufficient for persons with disabilities. But there is nobody to represent them or to speak out for them in the panchayat level, or to take up their issues at the panchayat level. So we want this representation for persons with disabilities in the panchayats and the municipalities. Another demand that we have is with the education department. They have not yet released the funds of the special schools under the financial assistance schemes for more than 2 years. Even last year an excess audit was done of the schools. But unfortunately, besides doing excess audit, none of the schools have been made accessible for children with disabilities. Also, where special educators are concerned, appointment of special educators are concerned, we have seen that even after 5 years, 10 years, the teachers are still on contract basis. This is very demotivating for the teachers. It is also creating problems for the special children, as the teachers, as they have to get accustomed or get used to a different teacher every new academic year. Also, no youngster will come forward to be a special educator if there is no security of the job. So we are demanding that special educators who have completed 3 years in service should be regularized, and schools should be made accessible for persons with disabilities, because now inclusive education is the mandate of the National Education Policy 2020. Okay, and our last demand is that survey of persons with disabilities. Recently, government has announced a survey of persons with disabilities, but we want it completed before the Purple Fest should start. And we are very serious in our demands that if we do not get our demands resolved before the Purple Fest, and I think 3 months is enough time to resolve these long pending issues, that if we do not get our demands met, we will protest at the Purple Fest 2025.
मोस्ट ऑफ द PWDs त्यांना जाय पर्पल फेस्ट जाल्ले
जायते जाल्यार नाका न्ही कित्याक घेयना न्ही there is no they are not getting benefit no benefit is not reaching the local level grassroots level are not benefiting from the purple fest
ते म्हणता इंटरनॅशनल कोण लोक येतात PWD त्यांच्या कडल्यान तुका शिकूंक मेळटा
कितें मेळटा where is the employment where is the education where is the accessibility public building accessibility where do you see the accessibility
ते इश्यूज पयलींच घेवपाची आसलेली फेस्ट त्या म्हणून घेता पर्पल फेस्ट म्हणून घेता
ना सगळे आसा पेंडिंग आसा जायते सगळे जाणा जायते
are not benefiting to disabled, then why this festival people government is organizing?
that you have to ask the government
फर्स्ट टाइम यू सपोर्टेड
well, first time we supported second time also we supported
Thank you.